How's it going, everyone? We've got a big new PlayStation Store sale in the Halloween sale. A lot of good deals available as a part of this sale, so let's just get right into it. I do have it filtered via the typical stuff we do, full games and game bundles. It'll slash the 1,000 deals, that includes DLC and stuff like that, to about 600 deals. So we're not going to go over everything in this video, but some good stuff right off the top. Resident Evil 4, the remake, is $19.99. Damn good deal for RE4. I mean, this was one of my favorite games of 2023. Really, when I look at my game of the year for 2023, Resident Evil 4 was probably among the top 2 or 3. I just really enjoyed the game. I mean, RE4 was the game that got me more into Resident Evil. I know that's a super casual take, but RE4, in my opinion, was one of the greatest video games of all time. And the easiest thing to say about Resident Evil 4 Remake is when you take one of the greatest games of all time and you remake it from the ground up and you do it well, it's one of the greatest games of all time again, baby. And RE4 Remake was exactly that. And for $19.99, no-brainer there. Even if you're not a big fan of horror games, I would say give RE4 a shot. It was the Resident Evil game that took the franchise more into an action-y route and turned out to do pretty well. $19.99 for RE4, great pickup. I definitely would recommend that. Fallout 4 is $6.59 with the upgrade. That's not bad. And Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition is $9.99. You can also get the Skyrim Anniversary Edition and Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition bundle. I mean, Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition for $9.99 with the upgrade, that's pretty damn good. I would definitely give that a look. V Rising is $30. Lies of P for $36. That is the deal of the week. Dead Island 2, the base game is still $35. That is vomit-inducing. It is available on PlayStation Plus Extra, and you should definitely play it that way. Like, Dead Island 2 was alright. I didn't hate the game or anything like that, but $35 still after all this time. It's been, what, 20 months since the game came out? Come on, let's get that a little bit cheaper. DayZ, 50% off for $27.49. Now, DayZ's price recently got jacked up because they bake in, like, the DLC into DayZ for free. Or, I shouldn't say for free, it's included with this appreciated price now. $27.49 for DayZ, not a bad deal. Dying Light 2 Stay Human, $24. Dying Light 2 is a really solid game, and this is the Reloaded Edition with the first story-based DLC. Do I wish it was a little bit cheaper? Sure. Dying Light 2 was not as good as Dying Light 1, but still a worthwhile game to play through, and for 24 bucks, I don't think it's a bad pickup whatsoever. Narratively, it really does fumble in the second half, which was a bit of a bummer, but what can you do? Resident Evil Village, 60% off for $16. Pretty good deal for RE Village. I guess Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon falls into the Halloween theme. I guess I'm gonna dress up like a mech this year. I better see some mechs at my door trick-or-treating. But yeah, Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon is a great game. You know, From Software, obviously the best known for their Souls-like titles, but what a breath of fresh air for a studio to have a home run success that they could just go back to over and over again. But nah, they decided to go back to one of their IPs that wasn't as well received and revered as Dark Souls or the Souls games. They went back to Armored Core, and I thought Armored Core 6 was a damn good game. Really focused on the customization, had a little bit of challenge to it, especially if you didn't use online guides, and I felt like, you know, Armored Core 6, a big aspect of the game was trial and error and trying out what works in every different scenario. I just think it's a really well-done game for $36. Pretty good pickup. I mean, it's holding up in price given that this came out 14 months ago, but damn good game, and I would say, you know, in this world, I've always been saying in the gaming world, we need more mech titles. Gigantic robots beating the hell out of each other is something that I feel like sells, and Armored Core 6 kind of proved that, so hopefully we get more mech titles. Hades is 60% off for $9.99. Probably gonna be a while before we get Hades 2 on PlayStation, so Hades 1, if you have yet to play it, $9.99 for it. It's a damn good deal. Well worth it, and even after Hades 2 comes out, there's still probably gonna be a lot of people that want to check out the first title. Subnautica, $14.99. The Quarry is $8.99 on PS4, $9.79 on PS5. That's a pretty good deal. It's done by Supermassive Games, the guys that did Until Dawn, which is in the news cycle right now with the remake coming out. The remake was done by Ballistic Moon, different studio, but nevertheless, The Quarry very much followed in that cheesy horror movie vibe. For $9.79, not a bad deal, and I would say this is the perfect price to pay. It released at $70, which was a little while, but for $9.79, we're cooking with that price. Resident Evil 3 is $9.99. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition is $16, which I think is pretty good. DMC 5 is great from an action gameplay standpoint. Soundtrack is excellent. DMC narrative never really did anything for me, but from a gameplay standpoint, it is excellent, and DMC 5 falls into that category. I am interested in checking out that DMC anime, though. I think that looks pretty good, so we'll see how that turns out. Cult of the Lamb, 50% off for $12.49. Resident Evil 2 is $9.99. Resident Evil 7, $7.99. Dark Pictures Anthology Season 1 is 60% off for $39.99. Now, that includes a lot of content. Man of Medan, Little Hope, House of Ashes, and then The Devil in Me as well. If you like your narrative-driven titles, that's another collection of super massive titles, so $40 from that isn't bad. Doom Eternal, $9.99 for that is obviously really good. Resident Evil 5 for $5. Hunt Showdown, $18.96. It recently got this re-release. Remember, it's only really being updated on PS5 now. The PS4 version is pretty much shut down. $22.49 for Hunt Showdown, $18.96, I think is a fairly decent pickup. Darkest Dungeon 2 Oblivion Edition, 20% off for $36. Resident Evil 6, 75% off for $4.99, which I actually think Resident Evil 6 is definitely a game that wasn't received as well as a lot of the other Resident Evil games, let's be honest, but I do think there's some, like, comedic fun. Just, like, the absolute nonsense that happens in Resident Evil 6 is almost funny to a point for $4.99. I mean, it's a decent pickup. Subnautica Below Zero, $14.99. Little Nightmares 2 is $9.89. The Little Nightmares 1 and 2 bundle is $14.99, which I think is a really solid shout. Little Nightmares, I think, is a very, very good series, and Little Nightmares 3 is scheduled for a 2025 release. BioShock The Collection, 80% off for $9.99. Great price on BioShock The Collection with BioShock 1, 2, and Infinite. Vampire Survivors, 20% off for $3.99. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition, 75% off for $9.99. Good price on Skyrim. I mean, that game is pretty solid. Kingdom Come Deliverance, 90% off for $2.99. Excellent deal for KCD. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is coming out in February, like RIP my wallet and my time in February, because that's another game I gotta play, but KCD 1 was a really good throwback historical RPG. You know, I thought it was quite good. Gameplay isn't blow away, but I think from a setting standpoint and narratively, it's quite strong. And for $3, good deal. This is the base game and not the Royal Edition that includes the DLC, so a little bit of a bummer, but hey, I still think that's a great price. Terraria PS4 Edition, $9.99. Alien Isolation, $7.49. Rumblings of a sequel. I believe a sequel is confirmed to be in development, or early development. Castlevania Dominus Collection, 20% off for $19.99. Guys, even though it's only 20% off, this collection is so effing awesome. Maybe it's a little bit of nostalgia because I grew up playing the Castlevania games on the Nintendo DS, but you got Portrait of Ruin, you have Dawn of Sorrow, and you have Order of Ecclesia. I don't know why I keep saying them out of order. It's probably because Portrait of Ruin is the one that I played first, and then I circled back and played Dawn of Sorrow, but you get the idea. You get all three games, $19.99. This collection came out of nowhere, like no hype. Konami just announced it and it was out the same day. Obviously, porting DS games is always a little bit tricky because you do have the dual screens, but this does it well enough, and the games themselves are great. If you're into Castlevania, these games are such of a high quality, and a lot of you guys probably played the games on the DS, but now to have them in one collection on modern platforms, it's just excellent. Thank the heavens that Konami put this out, but $19.99 for it is an excellent deal. Like $6 and change for each of those games. Given that those games go for a pretty penny for the original versions on DS, it was good that we got this collection. Dredge, 40% off for $14.99. That is on Plus Extra. RE4, the original, is $4.99. I still do think there's some charm to play the original. However, the remake, obviously, if you're like a newcomer, go play the remake. The original is fine to own, and it's something I'll probably go back to in the future and play it again, but yeah, for $4.99, not a bad pickup there. Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess, 20% off for $39.99. That game was a sleeper hit from Capcom. Randomly turned out to be really good. I was super skeptical going into the release of that game, but turned out fairly well, so good for them. Unfortunately, commercially, I don't think it's gonna blow any doors away, but hopefully they got a nice check from Microsoft for the Xbox Game Pass inclusion. Cat Quest 3, 20% off for $16. Good price for Cat Quest 3, given that it just came out. I would say if you're looking for a charming RPG, I mean, Cat Quest is pretty damn good, not super lengthy. It's worthwhile to go through. Doom, 80% off for $3.99. Blasphemous 2, 50% off for $14.99. Dead Cells, $12.49. Excellent deal, and they're about to put out Motion Twin, that is, their next game in early access. It is called Windblown, I want to say. It's early access on Steam, so I'm gonna be checking it out. It's out October 24th, I believe. But Dead Cells is awesome. I've said that ad nauseum. It's an excellent, excellent game. I do recommend you to pick up the DLC as well, but the base game for $12.49 is quite good. It is on Plus Extra. Plague Tale Innocence, which is absolutely awesome. 70% off for $11.99. Go play this, then go play Plague Tale Requiem. Both games are absolutely excellent. Innocence is a narrative-driven, atmospheric adventure game. However, being narrative-driven, it really captures you within the first 30 minutes or so, and it does a good job of that, and I think that's the most difficult thing to do with a narrative-based title is to capture you very early on in the game, and Plague Tale was able to do that really, really well, and the whole story into Requiem, really, really well done. Resident Evil, the original, $4.99. Metro Exodus Gold Edition, 85% off for $5.99. Exodus is really good, and you get the DLC here, PS5 upgrade, looks great, and the DLC as well, pretty solid deal. Dying Light 1, $2.99. That deal is highway robbery. If you have yet to play Dying Light 1, go rob the PlayStation store and pick that up for $2.99 because that's an excellent deal. Deathloop is $11.99. There is the Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo bundle. That's $33. That essentially values Ghostwire Tokyo at, what, $21, which Ghostwire Tokyo absolutely should not be valued at that, and you would think buying a bundle would get you the games discounted. I don't know if it's the deluxe edition of both games. Let me actually check that because this price point really is a little bit jarring. No, it's the base releases of each game. That is so weird. Why is that $33? That should be like, you know, $25 at most, and it would be a decent pickup at that. But yeah, buy the games individually if you want them. Castlevania, Requiem, Symphony of Night, and Rondo of Blood, $2.99 for that is an excellent, excellent deal. Definitely a good shot. And yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo, next page, it's $15. You can literally get Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop cheaper by buying them individually. Ghostwire Tokyo, I really enjoyed. One of the few games I did a full review on this channel. It's like an 18-minute long review. I tried to go pretty in-depth. I really enjoyed it. Narratively, much like Dying Light 2, they fumbled the hell out of this in the second half, and the pacing is just not that great. And ultimately, the ending isn't that satisfying, but I thought from a gameplay standpoint, world traversal standpoint, really, really well done. Bayonetta is $6.24. Soul Hackers 2 for $15 is great. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is $11.99. Darkest Dungeon, $3.74. Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2 bundle for $7.49 is quite good. Castlevania Advanced Collection, 50% off for $9.99. Pretty solid deal there. Wolfenstein Alt History Collection, $12 for that with all the content that you're getting. Really, really good deal. Demon Slayer, Sweep the Board, that just came out, $36 on that. Inscription is $8, which is really good. Dishonored 2 for $6, obviously good pickup there. Prey Digital Deluxe is $9.99. Ghost Runner, $9. Carrion, $6 on that. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, $9 on that. Would like to see that a little bit cheaper. Vampire for $8, not a bad deal there. Yeah, just a lot of deals across the board. You guys get the idea. With the filters enabled, there's still 25 pages of deals. I'm on page 6 as I'm recording this video, so a lot more to go over, and we certainly will be covering the sale more in depth. Along with this sale, there is the fall savings sale running, so there's a lot of good stuff for your dollar, so definitely would recommend that. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.